Welcome to Property Investing with Abby. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about, are property viewings allowed? If they are allowed, what do you need to do? And how do you still keep property investing during COVID-19? What we're going to do first is we're going to have a look on the little laptop and have a look at the government guidelines about property viewings. So I've just on the government website for buying and selling houses during COVID-19. So let's look at what the actual guidelines tell us. So the first thing is it's saying you're free to move home during national lockdown, which started on the 4th of January. However, you might find the process of searching for and moving into a new home a bit different, as property agents, conveyancers and other professionals modified how they've worked during COVID-19 to reduce the risk. So before COVID, you could literally pick up a phone to an estate agent, they would take some details from you and then they would meet you at the property. They would show you around the property and they would let you leave while they locked up, and then you would call an offer. During COVID-19, it's a little bit more tricky. Now the estate agent's got to protect themselves and obviously you, so they've got to ask you COVID questions, are you experiencing high temperature, a cough, have you been in contact with anybody? Once they've established that, they will book the viewing, but booking's a bit more spaced out and far between at the moment, because what they've got to do is they've got to make sure they can view you and nobody else is going to be there. They've got to be able to give you an empty property. So what they will normally do is they'll turn up at the viewing, they'll open the door, they'll stand back and they'll allow you in entrance into the property. You're not allowed to touch things, door handles and stuff. You come out and leave the agent and the agent locks up, and then they'll talk to you after the viewing on the phone about, are you going to put an offer in and stuff. So it's little bit more trickier about asking questions now than it was, and the agent doesn't come around the house with you just because of the 2-meter rule and the safety of doing COVID viewings. So it says initial viewings should be done virtually. So this is where the 360-degree viewings that agents are putting online. Now, not all agents do this, but they're really cool when the agent does. I had one done for Bakewell, the Bakewell property I bought, and you can press which room you go in and it takes you around the house, so you get a really good feel. The challenge with these is it doesn't pick up the level of maintenance, so I would always suggest going to view the property as well. It says members of the public who are visiting an agent's office or viewing a property must wear a suitable face covering. There's your mask. These should be confirmed with the agent before arrival. Yep, anyone with concerns should contact the agent to discuss any additional measurements, and the agent may require you to arrange an appointment before visiting the premises, which a lot of agents' offices are shut. You have to say, I'm coming in at 3 o'clock to collect the keys, and they're going to make sure, depending on the size of their office, that maybe only 1 client or 2 clients are in. Viewings should be arranged by appointment only, and open house viewing shouldn't take place. So an open house viewing is where you would typically pack the house out with people. You say it's an open house and people just come and choose when they go. But obviously that's not adhering to the 2-meter rule and social distancing. Normal property viewings right now are done one-on-one. It's saying you should avoid touching surfaces, wash your hands, and if you need to be accompanied by small children, try to keep them from touching surfaces. It says hotels, hostels and other public accommodation can be used with people while they're moving home or unable to return to their main residence. So we've seen this a lot in the serviced accommodation, hotel sector, people wanting to book our house for a couple of months because they're in between their houses, so that's fine. Second homes and other private residents can be used with people moving home. If people are being shown around your home, you should open all internal doors and try not to let them touch any surfaces. We recommend you vacate the property while the viewings are taking place. Anyone involved in any aspect of the home moving process should practice social distancing. And that's it, really. We had a little bit of a chat about how it's different, what you're going to expect from an agent, but typically what you're going to expect is empty houses where the vendor's left. The agent will open the front door and you will go around the property and you'll come out when you're ready, and the agent will wait in the garden for you. The agent will clarify the day of the viewing that you've got no symptoms and you've not been in contact with anybody. But pretty much, this actually gives us a golden opportunity because we can spend a little bit more time in the property on our viewing checklist, taking what pictures we need, checking boilers, fuse boards, checking damp, checking all that maintenance that's going to blow a potential property deal into a potential property nightmare. So this is actually great. And it's great not having the agent, following you, breathing down your neck while you're trying to do this and try and work things out. So it could potentially be great. Now, I know that's how agents in England are working. Agents in Scotland are making it very difficult to view, and a lot of them are shut. They're not doing viewings at all. They're literally just doing the online viewing, and very similar in Wales. So So these are methods used by our own estate agents, Diamond Estates Property. We operate and we're based in South Yorkshire, but we cover a lot of property across the country. You know, we keep getting asked, because we are a estate agent owned by property investors, so we keep getting asked to manage a lot of different property and, you know, buy and sell property for people, which is awesome. Other estate agents will operate differently. So what I would say is always check with the estate agent how they're operating and to make sure you can view. As I say, in England, I'm 99% sure they're open for business and they're viewing. Scotland's very different and the rules and regulations there, so is Wales. But if you're in England, you should be able, exactly as the guidelines say, still be doing viewings, do online viewing, do the physical viewing, and just take care during COVID-19. So how can you make viewings during COVID-19 as efficient as possible? Here's a couple of my tips. Number one, don't view everything. What I normally do is I do an analysis on the property before I even book to view. I'll analyse it and I'll see whether it's worth me viewing, is there wiggle room. So what I'll do is then when I get on the viewing, because the agent's normally stood outside, I've normally got my viewing checklist and I can go around and get all the details I need to go back to crunch the numbers, whether, you know, what type of refurb I'm going to do and whether it works as a deal or not. Now, the best thing about COVID-19 is they've developed 360-degree viewings, so virtual viewings. I would still recommend you go and view. There's nothing like seeing yourself, but at least you've been to the viewing, you can watch the video again and again, you've got the floor plan, you've got the viewing checklist, and this will really help you make the best investment choice. So thank you for joining us for today's episode. If you like what you're seeing, you're interested about property but you've not taken that leap yet, click the link below and find out about our 2-day Wealth Through Property event, where you'll see me and our other trainers, and we give you exclusive content that is not on YouTube about how you can become a property investor. See you next week.